So thank you for joining us for what we've termed the CDVS Tech Talks Live. Today, we're very excited to have our friends from Mitel join us. They have a great update for many of us, and a lot of content and a lot to go over. So lots happening with Mitel. A lot of great things are happening with Mitel. So we are looking forward to sharing all of this information. So a couple of pieces. Again, a huge thank you to the folks at Mitel. If the folks actually from Mitel want to, do a quick intro, starting with Ethan.
Good morning, Ethan Gorsuch, Territory Account Manager supporting corporate data invoice for all products in Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, and Massachusetts.
Excellent. Adam?
Good morning, folks. Adam Langdon, Channel Account Manager for corporate data. My primary responsibilities are to support those folks on a day-to-day basis, as well as be a secondary point of contact for you folks. Thank you for your time.
Excellent. Louis?
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having us. My name is Lou Larzaf. I'm the Contact Center Solutions Specialist with Mitel based in Connecticut, and I support our team, our partners, and most importantly, our customers.
Excellent. And Michael's here, correct?
Yeah, Michael's here. Sorry, my camera's been on all morning, and team just sent me a message that says, "Hey, there's an error. I can't use your camera anymore." But yeah, so I'm Michael Hamlin. I am a consulting solutions architect for Mitel's MyCloud Connect, which is our UCaaS product.
Excellent. And Keith?
How are you doing today? I'm Keith Hunt. I'm based out of Connecticut, and I'm the Northeast pre-sales engineer, solutions engineer for everything Northeast.
Fantastic.
Great. And I do have one to add to the list, Mr. Blair Wisner.
Oh, fantastic. Blair.
Hello, everyone. I'm Blair Wisner. I am the consulting SC for the Northeast, Mitel's Northeast region. I sit in Philadelphia market and pretty much support all the product lines, and we'll be giving you a roadmap discussion today. Excellent.
Appreciate it. All right. We do have a few people from the CDVS crew, as we call it. Kelly, you want to start us off?
Sure. Kelly Kuchar, Corporate Data and Voice. I believe most of you know who I am, Senior Client Specialist and very long-time fan of this Mitel platform and product line. Thank you very much to Mitel, and thanks everybody else for joining us today.
Excellent. Christy, you still here?
Sorry. I think I'm still muted, maybe.
Nope. I hear you.
Christy Sturgeon, client specialist, and also do post-sales support for our customers. Thank you for joining us today. Excited to hear what Mitel has to go on.
Excellent. Rachel.
Rachel Neary, client specialist. Thanks for joining us today.
And Pete.
Hi guys, Pete Lancarge here, client specialist with corporate data in a sales and marketing role based in Rhode Island. And thank you guys for joining us today.
Awesome. Thank you, Pete. And most of you know me, Joe Spampanato, been here a little while, so we'll just leave it. So today's agenda, we did our welcome. I have a few more things to touch on. Then we're going to turn it right over to Mitel, and at the end we're going to do a couple of raffles and wrap this up and get you out to your lunch and whatever that looks like. Couple of housekeeping items. We actually covered some of this, but as the presentations are going on, if you would mute your microphone and video for the presenters so we can focus on those folks. We are recording this session, so we will be able to, I believe we're going to post this on our YouTube channel and share it to everyone that is attending, so you can share it along with others. Questions are encouraged during the presentation, so please use the chat. And if for some reason you can't chat, be careful. Go off mute and do ask the questions. But let's try to use the chat for those questions. And a few of us are going to be monitoring that, and we'll interject those questions to the presenters. Each qualifying question asked will receive an additional chance to win. So you have two ways to qualify to win. By attending this event, you'll be qualified to win with one name in the hat, if you will. And then for each qualifying question, right, you'll get an additional name in the hat to win the raffle prize. Names will be drawn at the end. You need to be present to win. And Adam, I had $50 e-gift cards. Was that accurate, or are we doing something different?
No, we can do the e-gift cards. I'm also going to be having marketing put some Mitel collateral bags together for our winners as well.
Oh, excellent. All right, excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, so why we host these Tech Talks Live series, CDVS has had a long tradition of hosting in-person lunch and learns throughout and around New England. Obviously, with COVID, we had to change things up. So throughout the last 15 or so months, we've been doing these events essentially every month. We've had a strong reputation, right, for educating our clients, and we continue the trend through these Tech Talk Live series. We continue to try to do creative approaches, mix it up here and there, but we are so happy to mention that we are planning our next in-person event for September 2021. So really excited about getting back in person. We love this format, but definitely looking forward to the in-person events starting back up again. A lot of you folks know us for the Shoretel Mitel platform, right? We're the phone guys and gals, right? We do have a strong portfolio outside of just providing phones. So Pete just chatted our solutions page on our website. Go check it out. We do a lot more again other than just phones. So check it out. Ask questions. Shoot us an email. Give us a call. We're here and happy to help you with any of those other solutions. And then I don't know. Maybe this doesn't, but if the thought of cyber attacks are keeping you up at night, you may have heard that next gen AV or EDR are not the answers. We have a solution that takes cyber attacks and does allow you to sleep better at night, right? So if you don't have a good answer for the growing threats for ransomware and cyber attacks, please reach out to us. We've brought on some other solutions, some newer solutions that are specific to mitigate those situations. And now for the feature presentation, I'm going to turn it over to the folks at Mitel.
Great, thank you, Joe.
All right.
Pulling up my screen now. Excellent. Everyone see my screen okay?
Yep.
Yeah,
And now.
see it now.
Excellent. Great. So quick few housekeeping items. First of all, thank you, Corporate Data, for hosting the event. And thank you, folks, for your attendance and your business, most importantly. It's very important to us. I have presented to most likely this audience a few times over the last few years. Again, as Joe had stated, this is an open forum. This is your time, so feel free to ask questions or chat questions as we go along. We're going to hit a lot of topics, as Joe had mentioned as well. So if you hear something that's of interest, please write it down. And we'd be more than happy to circle back with you folks to do some deep dives and some one-on-ones on any given particular app or anything in particular. We do have two guest speakers today that we introduced a little bit earlier. Blair Wisner, he's going to be covering the My Voice Connect roadmap and touch on My Cloud Connect real briefly. And we have Mr. Michael Hamlin, and he's going to be covering a new application that we're going to be bringing to market that we'll be able to offer you folks in the coming months, an application called Mitel One app and Mitel One CX. And Michael also is going to touch on a little bit about our Microsoft Teams integrations. Quick look at the agenda. I'm going to go through this really quickly, give you a quick State of the Union. Again, the roadmap, Michael Hamlin's Mitel One and CX and the integration. I'm going to introduce you to My Team Meetings, which is a new collaboration tool that we have to offer. I'm also going to touch on a Mitel cloud migration tool. It's basically an API that we've written to allow our My Voice Connect customers to seamlessly migrate to the cloud when you're ready. And I'll introduce you some programs and promotions as well. This is a slide that you may have seen in the past. It's changed a little bit over the years. The important thing that I wanted to note here to you folks is that we are growing, still continuing to grow on the UC side of the house. So if you're wanting to hold tight and steady on the UC side of the house, we're continuing to grow there, roll out applications and develop apps for your environment, which is really, really good. We do have 70 million existing customers today, so obviously it's important for us to move forward, but also it's important, Mitel is always looking backwards from a compatibility standpoint, so we don't leave anyone left behind. The other thing here on the far right here is contact centers. So I'm going to touch a little bit on contact centers and where we're seeing some of that growth. And Michael Hamlin will also touch on some of those items as well. These are some of the trends that we're seeing here. This is from a source of MZA back in 2020. These are trends that we're seeing. So in organizations that are sub 500, we are seeing quite a bit of uptake in those customers migrating to a cloud-based solution. We are also seeing quite a those existing customers adding a lot of hybrid cloud to your existing My Voice Connect environment. So we'll be able to show you a few things there. And some examples of that are collaboration and over-the-top contact center. And obviously, we're still seeing some pretty steady uptake in UC premise business and growth moving forward as well. In businesses over 500, we're seeing a little less uptake for going pure cloud, but we do see quite a bit of uptake on those organizations adding cloud-based peripherals to their environment. So you might be seeing that as well. And we've got some great options that we'll be introducing to you today that directly applies to that. A few other quick market observations that we're seeing, and we've all felt this over the last year and a half. Mobile social cloud is disrupting how work is done. I'm sure a lot of you folks might be managing the solutions that you have in place today. Your big task was to mobilize your workforce. So I'm sure that was a big challenge for you folks, and thankfully we've got a lot of great tools that helped you accomplish that task. The other big thing that a lot of our customers are seeing is that evolving customer expectations are accelerating digital transformation. And the point that I have here in this one is that, and you probably feel it yourselves as consumers and calling into organizations, a lot of times, especially this next generation of folks coming into the environment, they're not wanting to pick up the phone to communicate with your organization. They're wanting to do web chats with you, SMS chats, sending emails into your organization, and allowing you folks to obviously report on all of those medium. And we have some great tools that we're going to be introducing to you folks that really target those types of environments. And then having a smart UC approach can be a strategic advantage. And again, we're going to be talking about some tools there that directly apply. So one quick slide before we move forward onto the roadmap is our My Contact Center portfolio. So if you folks currently have ECC today, the Enterprise Contact Center, we have a free offer to migrate you folks to My Contact Center Business, like for like licenses through the end of December. So if you folks have ECC and more than what it's capable of, like omni-channel, social media integration, and things along those lines, we've got a great path for you with our My Contact Center Business solution. It's very, very robust and very, very scalable. So this in and of itself can take an hour plus. We do have Mr. Lou Layerzap as our contact center specialist for the region. So we'd love to, if this is of interest to you folks, we could take it offline and give you a one-on-one presentation. The last thing, if you folks are looking to bring your contact center outside of your business, out in the cloud, we are going to be rolling out a solution called Mitel One CX. and our friend Mike Hamlin will be touching on that. Then the last thing is we have the ability to add call recording and some other peripherals into your contact center environment as well. So with that being said, I'm going to pass it over to Mr. Blair Wisner. Take it away, Blair. Thank you.
Sounds good. I'll start sharing here.
Hey, Blair.
Looking at... Yes,
Blair,
sir.
before you begin, we do have one question, and it may be for you or for Adam. Is there a video demo of the Micc program available?
So there are demos, training demos of the WebIgnite client to show what Micc can do. If that's the question, let me ask: does that answer the question? I saw that in the chat window.
Yep, it does. And Natalie, we'll get you some links for those videos. Thanks.
Okay, everybody should be looking at a My Voice Connect update. Yes,
that's correct.
Okay, it's funny to watch how Microsoft Teams formats that, but very good. So we're off to the races. So nice to meet everybody, and I apologize for the nasal voice. Something just decided to grow with the rain and triggered my allergies. So I apologize for that in advance if I have any challenges related to that. But one of the things that as we look at My Voice Connect is, this has been a recurring question, is what development are we doing on My Voice Connect? What's going to happen after the acquisition of Shoretel by Mitel, right? So that happened a little over 3 years ago. It's been top of mind for everybody that made an investment in that portfolio. And the reality is we are continuing to invest in the portfolio. With that said, though, we are also looking at ways to leverage best-in-breed applications from the rest of our product suite, like Micc is a best-of-breed contact center. One of our goals was, hey, we can try to make ECC do everything that Micc does, but that's going to take an awful lot of time. Wouldn't it be faster if we just went and made Micc work on our My Voice Connect platform? So that was our logic. That's where we said, hey, that's where our clients will get the fastest return on their investments and get the next gen features. And while we're doing this, of course, we're not just going to jettison our existing platforms. We're going to continue to support those platforms, and those people that don't need any additional features don't have to make that move. They can continue to conduct their business the way they always have. This was our philosophy and our approach to the business, and it's continuing. We've done this in other areas of the business as well. And in order to help My Voice Connect, is we've actually invested in a focused R&D team specifically for My Voice Connect. And one of the things that we've looked at is, how do we keep My Voice Connect current? And a lot of that is around security and certifications and all of those things that come with that, compliances that we need to adhere to in order to keep the platforms relevant. So a lot of our focus is in that area. Other areas that we've done cross-platform solutions is basically other examples are the 6900 series phones. So prior to the acquisition, Shoretel was, and I should point out that I'm former Shoretel, so you understand a little bit of my background. I've been in the industry 20 plus years, watching technology evolve over time. And one of the things that Shoretel at the time was about to spend close to $7 million doing a full portfolio refresh on our handsets. Mitel then acquires us. We looked at their 6900 series handsets and we said, okay, this is exactly what we were going to build. So now we don't need to spend that money building brand new phones. We can take some of that money and go ahead and just make those phones work on our platform. So we've been doing that. Obviously, the 6900 series sets were introduced a couple of releases ago, but we continue to enhance the feature sets on that, bringing that feature parity to the environment. Cloudlink Apps is the one that's been very interesting. This comes over from the Shoretel acquisition and really is this concept of cloud enabling all of the call controls that Mitel has so that we can very quickly add new applications and really decouple, and this is following the industry trend of how do we decouple applications from the underlying call control. Communications companies in the industry have always had a little bit of a challenge of this is, hey, we want to have integrated solutions, but at the same time, we have to be careful with how many interdependencies they have. If they have too many interdependencies, it sort of hinders the R&D development on both the communication side versus the application side of the solution. So this is where Cloudlink comes in and allows us to pretty much create sort of a straight divider, a line in the sand that says, hey, develop the application and then just have the link that allows it to come back and integrate seamlessly to the solution. And that's the concept of Cloudlink. You're going to see that continue to gain momentum. You're going to see us continue to focus on this. And our focus for My Voice Connect moving forward is continuing to provide that security hardening we expect, moving into TLS 1.2 across the switch fabric for all of our new switches. I've already talked about the cloud application delivery. Really try to create a shrink the device portfolio so that everybody's using the same devices. You're going to see that we will be bringing some DECT into the environment, which is something Mitel is very, very strong on our other platforms. We said, hey, once again, let's leverage that expertise and bring the DECT handset technology over. We just released it into Europe, and later this year, we're going to be bringing that same multi-cell DECT environment to the My Voice Connect platform in North America. As far as feature enhancements on the system, we continue to do pretty much, we continue to do the tweaks on the client itself, so you can see, we continue to refresh this. You'll be getting the new skin, which I'll show you on my desktop here in just a moment. Will be coming later in the year. And of course, we have programs to help you get there. So Mitel has always recognized that, hey, we appreciate you as clients. We appreciate the capital investment that you've made in these portfolios. And we're not looking to just say, hey, there's something new. Let's throw that away and not recognize the value in that. We've always had migration plans to allow you to migrate from your existing system and stay current and move and leverage next-gen technology. We continue with that. The Speedway program allows for like replacements. The My Team Meetings is next-gen video collaboration environment. And the beauty of the next-gen video collaboration environment, we actually have a free trial that if you want to, for 3 months, you can kick the tires on the solution. If you decide you really like it, keep it. If not, turn it on. And this introduces that new technology. With that said, I don't know who's talking in the background, but that would be great.
Hold on. Can we mute that person?
So this is our roadmap slide. So we came out at the end of 2020 with 19.2 as our next firmware for the system. A big part of that, as I said, was security hardening with moving to TLS 1.2. And we support all the next-gen MySQL, SSH, everything that you see written there. You see that with 19.2, we introduced multi-cell DECT in the European the word I'm looking for is environment, but arena. So we basically had the ability there to, we introduced multi-cell DECT solution to the European market where it is very popular. Multi-cell DECT is very popular in their environments with the features that you would expect from that type of environment. And then we also enabled support for cross-launch. So right inside your Connect client, you can cross-launch and launch your My Team meetings. So we kind of built that tighter integration. That was big for 19.2. What we're about to release is, and it's set to be released on the 18th, June 18th, will be the next service pack on that, where we continue to do some security patching and hygiene improvements. A big piece of this is firmware. The firmware push for the phones is still using HTTP at this point. We are going to harden that and move to an HTTPS. for all security updates and firmware updates on the phones is a big piece of that. We had a couple other things on the roadmap, but as I talked about compliances are always evolving, and we've provided information. I'm hoping everybody has seen socialized that, you know, Carrie's Law has been ratified, so you need to be able to dial 911 and 9911. That's a feature that we have inside the system. Another big features with Ray Baum's Act was that anytime somebody dialed 911 on the campus, you had to be able to send an email out. So we just immediately turned on for all of our customers. If you want to, you can immediately select emergency notification. You get it for nothing. And this type way, anybody that dials 911 on the campus, your front reception desk, or a couple of handsets up front get an alert that, hey, extension 222, just dial 911. That's part of Ray Baum's Act. Well, January of 2022, that just rolls off the tongue. You will have there's the next phase of Ray Baum's Act is coming in, which means that we now need to be able to track any mobile device on the phone system. So anytime if somebody moves an IP phone, anytime somebody uses a soft phone or they relocate and they're working in teleworker mode, we need to be able to reflect back to the PSAP that phone has moved and maintain that environment. Even if you're using wireless is another example of this. We need to be able to capture all that in the Ray Baum's Act. So due to this compliance, Mitel has gone to taken some of our development resources and applied them to support of the Ray Baum's Act to make sure that all of our customers that are using the system can maintain compliance with that. Part of us addressing the mobile actions are working with third-party app partners. Intrado is one of them. Red Sky is another that will do the audio updates back to the PSAP. Once again, this is not our law. This is not our rules. This is the government has said that, hey, if somebody dials 911, we should know exactly where they are. Well, that's a major rework on the backside for premise-based solutions, and we're going through that. Other areas of evolution in this environment is the infrastructure that it runs on. So we do support Hyper-V today. We're now moving up to support Hyper-V with Secure Boot, so that once again, hardening activity. Actually, in the next slide, I'll show you that some of the new firmware that will support on VMware versus Hyper-V versus Windows 2019. So moving forward, one of the things that COVID sent everybody home, and one of the things that everybody has asked for is when are we going to support 6900 series phones in teleworker mode, much like we do with the 400 series with the VPN gateway. We're going to do this. It is slated to be delivered in January of 2022. And we're going to do it with the in-gate separator is how we're going to actually support that. So 6900 phones will register back to the in-gate separator for those people that want to have teleworker mode for the 6900 series sets. Looking forward, one of the things that you're seeing is this SIP-REC for trunk call recording. So Mitel Interaction Recording has been released and is supported on the system. We do port mirroring for that particular solution today. One of the things we want to get to is a full SIP-REC. Sadly, Ray Baum's has taken some of the resources that we had earmarked to bring the full SIP-REC stack onto the My Voice Connect platform. But know that that is still on our roadmap. We plan to deliver that, which once we do have SIP-REC with Mitel Interaction Recording, we now will bring screen capture back in, and a whole host of additional features to the environment. And then as we look further out, you'll see by Q3, we plan on using Cloudlink to provide connectivity to Mitel One and the whole feature set of that, which Mike Hamlin is going to go through, which just further touches on how we are continuing to bolt additional resources in very quickly to our solutions. So My Voice Connect is still very, very relevant. in the market today. It's continuing to be supported and developed on, and really it's the applications that we're making sure that we are able to leverage and connect to, or what's making the platform have such relevance, not just today, but into the future.
Hey, Blair.
Yep.
We do have two questions. I'm not sure if it would be for you to answer these
Fire
or
away.
for someone else, but what about mobility? What about improving functionality of mobility is one question. And then the other is improve the chat functionality with Connect Client, specifically around the group chat functionality. It quote unquote seems quite flaky is the comment. So can you touch on those, or is it more appropriate for someone else to touch on those two?
No, I'll touch on both of those. So mobility is a Cloudlink app that, let me jump back here. Moving in the wrong direction. Here we go. The mobile client will be part of that, and that looks like it's a little bit of ways away. We actually have an application right now, which is called MoMA, which is a Cloudlink app. It just hasn't been enabled onto the My Voice Connect platform. That is one of the big enhancements that we expect. Part of the mobility request was really to see that persistent chat was a big ask. And I don't know if this question, that person that's asking, if it's specific to that, where they're asking for enhancements in mobility. Obviously, with mobility today, you have the ability to change your presence, answer your calls, control your outbound calling line ID so that anytime you call from the client, customer sees the business phone number, not the private cell number. You also have the ability to check emails, have access to your corporate directory, transfer features. All of that is part of the mobile client. However, the mobile client can go to sleep, which is, part of that is because of the power drain on the phones if the client is running. So one of the things that we've done is we've kind of made a thinner client called MoMA, which is running today in Europe. It's a pretty mature application, but it's a Cloudlink application that we're looking to bring forward in this time frame and make standard on the system. And once again, that'll run from that area. As far as the chat is concerned, both group chat and chat to mobility was the desire to do persistent chat. And this is another Cloudlink application. And what we've done is we've hooked what we call Teamwork, which is something that comes part of My Cloud Connect. But you can pretty much get that functionality out of Teamwork on the system, which is basically Cloudlink chat. And that allows for persistent chat, and it allows for group chat and work groups, task management, all of those type functionality. That is a Cloudlink app, and that is available to you today. So let me see if I answered those two questions.
In conjunction with that, Blair, some of the things that Mike Hamlin will be covering might also answer some of those things as well.
A lot of the enhancements that you're seeing here, the cloud has today, and that you would get those features right now today, which is part of the, hey, move to the cloud when it's right for the business, has always been our mantra. It continues to be our mantra. When's the right time for customers who are on site to move to the cloud or leverage a cloud-based application? Once again, chat is an example of one of those Cloudlink or cloud-based applications. I'm wrapping up my piece here. Took probably 5 minutes more than I was expected to. Just quick, take a look at this slide here. Is you'll see that what we're now supporting as part of VMware current releases on Exchange. We've done some cleanup in diagnostics and monitoring. Some of the CDR performance, we had some false positives in diagnostics and monitoring related to CDR performance. Bottom line is we continue to do cleanup in those areas so that you're not getting false alerts for situations that don't exist. So basically, we've refined our filtering. And this is just some of the work that's going on all the time as far as patchwork and things under the covers or under the hood of the car. So with that, I'll stop. Any other questions for me?
Yep, I think we may have a couple here that, again, maybe more clarification. So on-prem group chat, is there anything happening, any new development happening on the on-prem group chat?
No, there's not. Inside the SA100, there's no improvement coming on that environment. No.
Okay.
Hey,
then-
Blair?
Yep.
On some of the questions around perpetual chat and things along those lines, the next topic that we're going to be covering, the One app, might actually address some of these items that we're discussing right now.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Another question, any work on transcription of calls?
So you can do that today. So, well, hold on.
Calls,
you can
not
transcribe. Yeah, and I was going to say you can transcribe voicemail. So to transcribe calls, the answer is yes, you can do that as well. So we use, well, I would ask, there's two ways to do this. You can do it within basically a nuance engine, which we call MyCam, which is our Mitel advanced messaging. Is an application that can be put in front that has that functionality. That's available today. And the other one is inside of Micc. We have the ability to turn on speech rec auto attendant, which has some transcription capabilities as well. So it depends on whether or not this is in a contact center environment or not. If it is, I do it within Micc. If this is, hey, outside a contact center, I just need it in sort of an auto attendant or things of that nature, that would be as part of the MyCam.
Okay, and then I think this is more of a confirmation. So mobility is fixed in the cloud version.
Correct.
Okay, and I think a little more content is coming about that.
Correct, and you're going to see basically futures on that, how we're developing to that. Correct.
Excellent, thank you.
Yep. So with that, I'm going to stop sharing. I'm here to answer. If somebody wants, I'll be able to see the chat screen moving forward. So if anybody wants to continue to ask questions, I'm happy to try to answer those as I see them come in. With that, I'll turn my video off, and I'm going to turn this over to Michael Hamlin to give you an introduction to Mitel One.
Thank you, Blair.
Thank you, Blair.
Yeah, thanks, Blair. So Blair touched on some of the architecture. So he kind of laid a groundwork here for what we'll be talking about today. So as I get my screen share ready, hopefully you guys are seeing that. Go into presentation mode, which is 101 if you're presenting on the internet, right?
You got it.
Okay, awesome. Everybody's seeing that. So I am here to introduce Mitel One. So this is an exciting product. It's built on the premise that everybody has customers, right? Whether you are, whether you have a small sales team of 5 to 10 people that need to, and your customers need to reach out to you in various formats, various channels, whether they want to chat you, whether they want to call you, whether they want to come across Facebook Messenger. Maybe you have a big Facebook presence and you want to do Facebook Messenger. Maybe you have customers overseas and they use WhatsApp. I know that's big in other parts of the world. We're built on APIs and we're able to bring all of these in. And you have customers. Maybe you're an internal IT group of 3 or 4 IT folks and your customers are internal. The idea is to provide them a better experience regardless of what your customers are, right? You have a product, you have customers. And so that's the Mitel One app. And what we're doing is we're blurring the lines in a good way between what was a back office user, somebody that has, internally, we can instant message, we can chat each other, we can call internally, we can take external calls. But what about that group that maybe needs to be in a hunt group or even a queue group where they accept, multiple calls from customers? We're going to blur those lines. We're going to make that one application. It's going to be a single pane of glass. We're going to give you a hub where, as you can see here, this would be like your dashboard for the day. And we're going to give you some panels that you can move and arrange on the screen and decide what you want to see. As you see here, the individual, even though they're not a contact center individual, they're looking at what we call hub metrics. And these are how the queues are doing, how their customer service queues are doing, their quote unquote, air quote, contact center group, their queues are doing for the day. And this person, Lorna here, may decide to, because they're extremely busy that day, may decide to jump into that queue and assist those, queue groups and help them get caught up based on this dashboard that she has up and visual to her. So that's how we're going to blur the lines between, what used to be a back office person and now making them front and center customer facing. It's going to be easy to deploy. So I'll show you here in a minute. Mine is actually in a browser, but we'll absolutely give you a desktop application. If you need to have a desktop application for various reasons, we're going to deliver that in a format where basically it's going to be, the content's going to be web delivered, but we'll put a wrapper around it so that it can be native in your PC or Apple Mac applications, but it's going to be easy to update. And actually, with our agile development on that Cloudlink architecture that Blair was talking about, it is agile development. So I see new updates and features delivered to this product every couple of days. And when I see that, it asks me, hey, do you want to update? I don't have to, right? I could continue on and working as I am if I could ignore that. But if I click update, the screen literally refreshes in about 20 seconds and I have those new features and functionality, and that will continue on that way. And that is one of the benefits of having, built on microservices, a cloud native application like One and One CX. And then finally, we're going to make it easy for you to administer those, for you, for your supervisor to go and change things within the contact center. So maybe within their queues, what agents are part of what queues, maybe how calls flow in and get answered. The APIs are there to bring in your CRM, that central point of truth that you have, that you maintain your customers in, that you need to pop things to your agent's interface, or maybe you need to determine when that call rings in, that customer, you recognize that customer and you don't have to put them through, hit option 1 through 9, whatever the case is, that you can just get them to the correct queue right then. And these are really, really easy. It's brought in a very graphical format, and I'll try to get to real quickly show you how that looks and show you how easy that is for your supervisor or administrator to be able to deliver you that. So Mitel One CX is an add-on to the user profiles that you know and love today in MyCloud Connect. So this will absolutely just ride on top of the user profiles that you have today, the bundles, and you will stack CX on top of those. And so you see CX Essentials, and just real quickly, some of the things that you get with CX Essentials, you'll be able to add different channels, voice and chat. The Workflow Studio is going to be there. You're going to get live dashboards and reports. You're going to get some historical reports, the ability to silent monitor, whisper coach, and of course, everything is Active Directory, single sign-on. That was meant for the smaller, more informal, contact center, maybe that customer service group, maybe that internal IT group that needs to answer. And then we have a CX Premier, which is meant for anything from that smaller group. Hey, maybe you just have, more elaborate needs, but you're still a smaller group, all the way up to that formal contact center, where you think of cubes and headsets and that sort of thing. Now we start introducing the additional channels So universal channels, it could be email, it could be Facebook Messenger, it could be Twilio SMS. The ability to stop and start recording controls for that contact center agent. Callbacks, right? We'll hold you place in line and we'll call you back. We've all done that rather than waiting 20 minutes or an hour on the phone. The ability for disposition codes and those database dips. So now I recognize that customer. I'm able to present that to the agent. I'm also able to get that customer to the correct location quicker. And then even things like outbound dialing will be able to provide in CX Premier. So it's just a matter of choosing which one of these profiles you would like your agents to live in, and know that these are concurrent. So if I have 100 user environment and 10 of which are, let's say, contact center agents, any 10 of those 100 folks can log in and be a contact center agent. So today, if Blair's a contact center agent and he needs to go on vacation for a week, I can slip Michael Hamlin in there. He's the next guy up, and he can assume one of those 10 licenses. So it's not specific to that user that they have that license. So let's real quickly, I'm going to jump into a demo. And when I say demo, we're literally just going to look a couple of minutes here at the interface. This is the interface. I'm going to go to my dashboard here. This is where I talked about you can place widgets. Any of these widgets, so if I need to monitor my chat stream, right? And when I say chat, that could be SMS or instant messages, folks within my organization. I can absolutely know what's going on. If I need to see more, I can actually click and be taken to that tab. And so I'm placed within this very, very collaborative group of folks, of 10 folks, where we can upload documents and comment on these. I'm going to go back home to the stream. I have favorites here, and I can choose how I contact these favorites. I can also see their presence based on the color, either around their avatar or in the bottom right corner of their avatar. And actually, their avatar tells me that David Clardy, because he has a ring around there, that he is customer facing. He is in CX mode, okay? He's answering calls in a queue. I say calls, that might be messages. And I see Frank is actually working on something. I see Mike Fink is a back office person. He is not in contact center mode. I am still able to communicate with all of these folks, whether I'm a contact center or not. So really, there's no more silos of division between contact center folks and back office folks. So real quickly, I'm going to jump down here to the hub inbox, which is my more contact center centric tools. And right now I'm actually in a chat message with a user. So as you see, this chat message, this user actually uploaded me a document which I can view and be able to respond to and provide information back to them. I do have the ability to raise my hand, so I can ask for supervisory help if I say, hey, they sent me this document and I'm not sure that it's all filled out correctly. My supervisor can jump into this chat as needed. I'm actually going to end this chat. And as you can see, I have a wrap-up timer here. And so with the wrap-up timer, once that's done, I can also look at other things that are waiting in the queue here, and I can also look at the history of things that I have worked on today. So again, I'm going to click this, and this is a call that I took earlier today, and notice that it has some Salesforce integration. This template is what we call a visual template, very customizable. So this could look completely different based on what you want callers in your organization, what you want your agents in your organization to see based on this caller. I have chosen to put in some Salesforce information. I have chosen to show what queue they show up in, how long they had to wait in the queue, and that information. So I absolutely can completely customize this based on what queue, what agent answering, what information you want them to see. I, of course, have visibility of the other queues within my organization. And just a quick look here, I can see customers that are waiting, how long they waited, how many agents are available in that queue. So like our test queue has 2 agents available. And then how many maybe in the queue, but they're away and offline. So as I've clicked here on My Cloud Connect, I can see that Mike Roberts and Dave Watanabe are away. If I am a supervisor, I may choose to click on Mike Roberts here and change his status and make him available. Maybe I see that he's at his desk, but he just forgot to put himself back to available mode. But I could also see the workload, which he hasn't done anything today. Mike needs to get to work. So I can see if he had accepted some calls and requeued and handled those calls, I would be able to see that here. And of course, what would this be without what we call Insights, which is our reporting engine? All of this can be reported upon, and we can do so in a very graphical format. So as this paints out here, you'll start to see some very nice graphical things pop up here, and I can hover over these and get additional information about each of them. And so I can see abandoned interactions, which is not something that we want. And so 95% of the abandoned interactions are voice, and only 4% are chat. So maybe we need to start moving some more things to chat. They seem to get handled better. But of course, 93% of our offered interactions were voice. And so as you can see, very graphical. Any of these I can choose to download. And so if I want to see the interactions offered to the queues on a daily basis, I can download this to Excel or CSV or JSON. And of course, I can filter these down based on date or maybe a particular queue, but there are different dashboards and groups of reports that you can go through and that are already grouped together for you. Of course, all of this is built on those APIs. So these data points are all there, and they're open in the API. So if you choose to, you could pump all of these out, all of these data points, and out to your own BI tool, and like Power BI or Bright Metrics, and have those, completely different reporting format based on that BI tool that you're using. So just a quick update there. Now, real quickly, there's a lot of different things in here. I just wanted to quickly take you to the back end. This can all be managed very, very easily through a web interface. And as I click here on my user and I go to manage, you can see how simple it is to, all I had to do to turn myself from a back office user into a CX user or contact center user was slide this over, determine if I was a user or a supervisor, determine the channels that I wanted to turn on for myself, and the number of simultaneous interactions I wanted based on that channel, right? I want one voice, but I'm able to handle 3 messages at the same time. And then give myself some skills, and not only give myself some skills, I don't want the email skill anymore, I can remove that. I can also assign myself a skill level based on that skill. So I'm able to easily do that. So essentially, that within about 30 seconds it takes me, I go in there, add a skill, which I can do just simply by typing. If I want to add myself to the Cloud Connect CC skill, there it is. I determine, you know what, I'm a skill level 5. Then about 30 seconds, I've created myself an agent. And so it's just that simple. This user was already there. I just turned him into an agent. I've assigned him these queues, which are associated with these skills are associated with these various queues. So here's a queue, UCAS demo. You see the demo skill is associated with that, which I can go and manage. And I can see that 6 users have this skill. So I know these 6 folks are in this skill. If we're really, really busy today and I want to add some more folks, a different skill group into this queue, I can do so. So this upgraded from 6 to 10 because I added a new skill into this queue, which I'm not going to do. That would be confusing and bewildering to them, right? So I'm going to cancel that. So very, very easy management of this interface. And then finally, how do we get calls into this queue? Real quickly, don't be distracted by this spaghetti of calls that we've done. We've turned a bunch of sales engineers loose here. and allowed them to build it. But just quickly to show you, it's very, very easy to upload a file, do text-to-speech, and our text-to-speech engine is built on Amazon. I'm able to put variables in here, and when I say put variables in, they're just click, right? They're clicks, not code. I can assign variables based on a dial menu. I want to see the collected digits from that dial menu, and I'm able to read that back to the customer in a very, very easy format. And everything here, if I choose to add a new function in here, could be my integration to Salesforce. If I want to do an update a record, or if I want to do a SQL query based on Salesforce, all of that would already be in here for you to just click and add based on the integrations that we set up for you when we're installing this. So we have some out-of-the-box integrations, and of course, we can add additional integrations if you have a third-party CRM that you don't see listed here. So that's a real quick spin through Mitel One. Again, this was a very, very quick look at it, hopefully so you can get an idea of what it was about. The next topic that we're going to go to is Microsoft Teams. So quickly, I'm gonna pivot, and so hopefully nobody gets whiplash from spinning around here. So let's look at Microsoft Teams real quickly. So Connect for Teams. Mitel has a couple of different integration options, and as most of us are probably using Microsoft Teams, especially that was accelerated by this pandemic, right? So using Microsoft Teams for a lot of collaboration, most organizations I talk to are using it. And so Mitel has a solution for that is very interesting. And the way we do that is we're not going to push you one way or the other. If you want to use Teams for a lot of your collaboration, but you also have some deep telephony needs, you can absolutely use your MyCloud Connect phone, your user interface, our applications for that. You can absolutely do that. Or you can live here in the middle where you have Microsoft Teams, you want to live more in Microsoft Teams, and we'll just provide you what we call a Mitel Assistant within Microsoft Teams, where you can utilize your Mitel client, but do so out of the Teams interface. And then finally, if you say, you know what, Michael, that's all great and good, but hey, we live in Teams all the time, and actually I'd prefer to not have to see another client, not have to see a Mitel interface. Mitel can slide here in the back end and basically just be your dial tone for Microsoft Teams. We can be your calling plan. And so there are some benefits to doing that, some of which we won't have time to talk about, but there's some benefits to having Mitel as your calling plan here, as opposed to going with the Teams calling plan. One of those is all three of these options are available across your organization. So with the same Mitel user bundle, you could have a user, say like an answering point that has, I don't know if you've seen the way Microsoft Teams handles calls, but it does so in a way that's not really conducive to answering a bunch of calls and transferring those calls real quickly like an operator. So you could have that operator live in MyCloud Connect and absolutely have visibility of your folks, the 90% of your other folks that are living in Microsoft Teams. But you could also have maybe a hunt group or contact center folks that have a little deeper telephony needs that could live here in the middle, and your operator still has visibility of all of those. And so that last position, if you think of the third position, that I live fully in Microsoft Teams, this is how we build it. So all of your clients are absolutely Microsoft Teams client. You don't see anything Mitel on the desktop here. On the back end, we're providing the SIP trunking, we're providing that connectivity, so they can, come lunchtime, this call can go out to the public telephone network, and they can order, Chinese for lunch or whatever the case may be. They can call their customers locally. They could also put a call back into anybody using MyCloud Connect, right? That's using the Connect client within the organization, and vice versa. That MyCloud Connect person can interact with a Microsoft Teams person. So with that, I'm going to in the slideshow.
Hey, Michael,
Yes.
we do have a question. Are you looking to do any more robust integrations for Slack, like what we're seeing for Teams?
Well, so yeah, I'm glad you asked. With the One application, we do have some integration. We will have some integrations into Slack. So yeah, we'll be able to bring Slack in through some APIs. So good question. And just to further that, hopefully that answered the question. Let me know in the chat if there's additional comments on that. And so just to show you what this looks like, again, pretend I didn't have any Mitel application on my desktop. Here within my Microsoft Teams, hopefully you recognize this. You know, it's just a standard Microsoft Teams interface. I do have a calls tab, and I can choose to click any of these contacts and call them. And so that call will be initiated through the Microsoft Teams interface that you probably have seen before. And I have my standard actions like I would if I had the Teams calling plan. The only difference here is it's Mitel on the back end. So I do have some other flexibilities with auto attendance, hunt groups, and things that maybe Teams can't provide. So that is, of course, incoming calls will be answered within Teams as well. That is that far living in Teams. If I want to do the cross launch, if I want to live kind of in that middle ground, we provide the Mitel Assistant. And so I don't have to purchase the phone system from Microsoft Teams. Mitel can actually provide you a dial pad here. We can actually provide you contacts that you can call here. The only difference is when I click to call this individual, which was the same individual I called directly out of Teams, when I do that, it's going to launch my Mitel application. And now my Mitel application is also tied to my hard phone. So what you can't see here is my hard phone. If I was wearing a headset, my hard phone just dialed out and dialed Michael Hamlin here, and I was able to, go on and go on about my business, and my hard phone just dialed that up, and I have them in my headset. The other thing you can do here is if I'm in a chat or if I'm in a Teams and I'm talking with someone, I can absolutely type at Mitel Assistant. But better than typing that, what I like to do is I like to hit this little button down here, and I like to say call. What you see here is I've clicked start a meeting, so I can start the My Team meetings, which I think we're going to go into next. So I can start the Mitel version of online meetings, or I can go to call here, and the same thing that you just saw happen with Frank, I verify his number here, I click to call, my Mitel application will be launched. And so that is, just to drive that home, that is this right here, where we live in the middle, and that person is utilizing a Office, a Microsoft application, as well as their Connect applications. So if there are any questions, let us know. With that, I know it was a quick spin, but I need to hand off to the next presenter.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Michael. And I am up next. I will share my screen here in one moment. You folks see my screen okay?
Yes.
Yep.
Excellent. A few quick things before we wrap up here. One is the Mitel Desktop. For those of you that do not have the 6900 series phones in place today, we have a number of options for you folks to choose from an entry-level set all the way to a color touch display. The 6940. We did have some issues. I'm sure a lot of you folks heard about the global chipset issue. We did have are having some issues with that chipset on the 6930 in particular. So we're having issues that I'll talk about in the next slide. We did roll out a new series of sets, the 6930 or 6920 and the 6930T. These are treated phones with a biocoat layer on them, so they are antimicrobial. So if you're in an environment where you want that capability, we have that option for you folks today. We have a lot of accessories that we can add on to each of our phone types. We have a personal key set module, a button add-on. We have a Bluetooth handset that we can add on to our 6930 and the 40 phones. We have a wireless LAN adapter. So if you want to put a phone in a location where you don't have a physical drop, we can utilize the wireless LAN adapter. We have the decked headset. We can add that onto the 6930 and the 40. That's a decked headset, so it has a roughly 250-foot spread spectrum from the phone. So great for mobile users. Then we do have a Bluetooth speaker with microphone in it as well, and that is wireless for the mobile folks. Our Bluetooth phones do have mobile link capability to them. So I pair my Android phone to or iPhone directly to your IP phone, so that when calls come in on my mobile device, they can actually be answered from my desk phone. All my contacts can be downloaded to my phone, etc. So some nice connectivity there. Blair did mention we have a new product. It's actually been around for a little while now. It's a product called My Team Meetings, and we do have a free 3-month offer. It's a lot like the application that we're utilizing today. We can support up to 16 video participants, as well as 100 overall participants. We are growing the number of video participants as well as audio participants in the upcoming releases that are coming out. This is a very economical application. It's a lot less expensive than some of our competitors that you're utilizing today. So if you're interested in a video audio collaboration tool, we have one that we can offer to you folks. The other nice thing about the My Team Meetings is that we do have integration into the My Voice Connect client. So from the Events tab, we can go ahead and initiate and launch a My Team Meetings tab to schedule an upcoming call. It'll go ahead and pull up your calendar, and you can go ahead and populate the participants, and all of the information about that is there. So if you are interested, again, we have a free 3-month trial. No strings attached. We've also rolled out a new API. So for customers that are interested in migrating to the cloud, so if you're a My Voice Connect customer and you're anticipating moving to the cloud, we have an API that we've written that makes that migration effortless and effortless, etc. So this is kind of a behind the screens look. So essentially what we do is we do a database export from your existing My Voice Connect system. We take that export, we load that export into the API, and then a lot of detailed information is relayed. Information such as, handset details, all your extension, all your call forwarding profiles, your hunt groups, pickup groups, etc. All those are downloaded into this extract. The nice thing that it also provides is it highlights the differences between the MyCloud Connect and your existing customer premise solution. So that's always a big fear factor for premise customers. They assume that all the features and the functionalities are there in cloud solutions that exist today, and in actuality, they are not. So this actually pulls up the red flags for you folks and lets you see what some of those differences are, and etc. It also provides an Excel spreadsheet export so that it allows us to do any moves, adds, and changes on the fly. And then we can go ahead and take that export and import it into the API, and it automatically creates an instance in MyCloud Connect and auto provisions your instance for you. So it's definitely a nice to have. And this is basically the flow of what would happen here, where we basically pull the export from your database. We would sit down with you folks, review that export and that information, make any changes that need to be made, and then we can go ahead and import them, and then it'll automatically create an instance, a MyCloud Connect instance for you folks. So I just want to let you know that that is coming probably in a few months from now. And if you are considering migrating to the cloud, we can sit down with you folks and utilize that tool. Lastly, programs and promotions. A lot of our premise customers that are considering migrating to the cloud, what we've done is we've provided a pretty much a 100% satisfaction guarantee that you're going to be happy. So we provide you folks with 90 days, and we work with you folks within the 90 days to get you up and running, make sure that everything is perfect, and that after that 90 days, if you're not happy with the performance, etc., there's pretty much a no strings guarantee that you can slide out of that contract. I don't know any other vendors that are providing that level guarantee. And we're providing that guarantee because we know it works. We know it's reliable because of the environment that we put our MyCloud Connect instances in, which is Google Cloud, which is pretty much the most reliable environment that you can physically put your communications needs in today. We also have some very aggressive programs so that if you are an existing customer and you are migrating to the cloud, we have some very aggressive programs and promotional pricing for you folks. And we do have an optional free phone included with our user licenses. Last but not least, we already discussed the ECC to MICC migration program, the like-for-like licenses for $0. So if you are in that circumstance, we'd love to talk with you, show you what the My Contact Center product can physically do, and migrate you there when you feel the need fit. And even if you don't have ECC and are considering Contact Center, My Contact Center is the product that we're going to be positioning to you folks. Always ongoing. We always have programs and promotions for on-premise as well as for cloud. If you have something that does not fall within a program or promotion, we'll work with you folks and get as aggressive as possible to help you meet your budget and your overall objectives. Love to work with you folks on a case-by-case basis. Lastly, let us know if you're considering moving to the cloud. We can be creative. So again, if we don't have a program and promotion that applies to you folks, or let's say you have an existing SWA contract that goes out a ways, let us know. Let's discuss it, and we'll help you get to where you need to be at the end of the day. With that being said, I will turn it back over to the folks from Corporate Data unless you have any questions for me. And thank you so much for your time.
Great, thank you, Adam and team. Adam, if you wouldn't mind stopping the presentation. Fantastic. All right. So lots of information shared. I would say we had some great questions that we've been able to answer within the chat, and I obviously brought up some others to the group and was able to answer those. So before we get to the raffles and the closing of this session, do we have any last questions for the group while we have everyone? All right, I guess not. So we will move over to the raffle. So we have everybody's name in here, and again, for those folks that did ask additional questions, your additional names have been placed in the fishbowl, and we will. So again, we have two names we will be drawing, and the first name is Keisha. Keisha, you are a winner. We're all winners today, but you are one of the winners chosen out of the fishbowl. So congratulations, and
Thank you.
We'll be in touch and get you your gifts.
Thanks.
So thank you for joining. Thanks for the questions, and hopefully you received some good information that you were looking for. And the next one, is he still here? Derek. I see Derek has temporarily joined the chat. Derek, are you here?
I'm here.
You are. Well, you are another winner of a Mitel raffle prize.
I win.
Congrats.
You're a winner,
There you go.
Derek.
Wahoo!
Nice beard. There you go.
Yeah, it's proper.
Awesome. So, that's what we had for you today. Obviously, a lot of content. Obviously, Mitel is working hard to expand their portfolio for the customers that continue to want to be on-prem. They're expanding and developing ways to allow you to stay on-prem, but to bring in some maybe a hybrid approach to expand the capabilities of your system. So it was great. Adam and team, fantastic. Again, if anyone needs more specific information that you did not hear or you need it expanded on, we'll work with Adam, Ethan, and team to get the appropriate folks on a call, and we can address those questions. Adam, anything else you want to add?
Nothing else on my end. Thank you, folks at Corporate Data, and thank you, folks, all for attending. Would love to further the conversation if you have any more questions. Lou Layerzap, we did email a My Contact Center video link to Corporate Data, and we'll share that with the folks on the call.
Absolutely. Yes, I did receive that, so we'll get that out. And Ethan, you didn't get to chat. You didn't get to speak.
Some people think it's better that way, right?
Maybe.
Yeah. But yes, thanks everybody for this is a huge turnout. Certainly, we're very, very, very well. You were able to spend some time with us. We could get you updated as on with our organization. So thank you.
Excellent. Well, again, thank you to everyone. Enjoy the afternoon. The sun is shining once again. If we don't get to chat with you before, have a safe and a great 4th of July holiday. Right? It's around the corner. We're finishing the quarter strong, but we have a few days off for the 4th of July. So everyone enjoy themselves and be safe. And we'll be chatting with you soon.
Thank you all.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Bye now.